The Touhou Fan Game Jam, an event held once in a while where people come together to make fan games based on the Toho series, usually within a couple days. It's a good opportunity for people to flex their game dev skills and show their love for this wonderful series. And it's also a good showcase of what the fandom outside of Japan can do. Every jam participants are given a particular theme to work into their games, and for this 10th entry, that theme was winter games. Lots of snow, lots of snowboarding, and quite a few Chernos to be found. Today we're gonna be checking out a few of the fan games from this contest that caught my attention. This will be in no particular order, this is not a ranking or a top 10 or anything like that. Just me talking about the games that I personally enjoyed. I'll leave a link in the description to the jam submissions so you can play these and the rest of the games yourself. Anyways, let's start with a fun one. Toho Ice Hockey Festival by Chocolamint, Kwang Yu, and Chiptabi. Well, that's a bit of a misleading title, because this is actually air hockey. You use the mouse to move your player around and hit the puck, and each character gets a shot to briefly disrupt the opponent. It's a pretty good time, paired with the charming visuals and the funky music, it really made me want to keep playing. It's quite addictive actually. I love how you have Eiki as the ref and she just goes flying when someone runs into her. The one bad thing I can say about it is that the AI is kind of insane. Just zips straight to the puck in no time, which meant scoring felt more like a matter of luck rather than actually getting a good shot in. The collision felt kinda weird too. I definitely ended up scoring against myself more times than intended. But hey, those are just part of real air hockey too, right? Cherno's Perfect Snow Glide by Wareya. Once again, kind of a trick title. This is less of a snowboarding game and more of a platformer. Sorta reminds me of Super Meat Boy actually. The objective is to hit the poor frog that's been turned into an ice cube. Most of the levels also have these crystals that you need to collect before going for the frog. To do all this, you have a mix of simple platforming and sliding around snowy slopes to build up speed and launch yourself with the momentum. You can also do this, which to me seems more like a bug turned feature, and you know what? Props for that. There are 18 stages to go through and they're all pretty good. It's really fun figuring out the way to complete the levels, and I'm pretty sure some of them have more than one way to go about it. All while hearing a pretty nice remix of Cherno's theme. The only level I found kind of annoying was this flower-shaped one. It's really hard to get yourself to the upper area, and once there, well, good luck getting the crystal on top. But anyways, it's simple, fun, and with a lot of potential actually. I could see there being some really creative levels in here. A Winter Adventure with Sanae Kochiya by Whoa Man, a silly little platformer starring Green Reimu. One silly day, she encounters a magical snow hoe that asks her to collect magic snowflakes, with a secret prize awaiting if she does. And so we set out, bouncing, jumping, and dashing to reach faraway platforms. You go around collecting the snowflakes spread around the level. There's even quests to complete, given by the characters you find along the way, like Spooky Banky hiding her heads around, Gamer Patchouli who's scared of ghosts, and Tsundere Reimu who totally doesn't wanna share her lunch with Sanae. It's a pretty fun time, and the writing and visuals are really so charming, I love it. There are 18 magic snowflakes to collect in total, but you only need about 10 to finish the game. However, you get a second, even secreter prize if you manage to get them all. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, all I'll say is that it's really cool. Snowboard Trials Unending Winter by Fluffle. Snowboarding and Danmaku, all in one neat package. You slide down Yokai Mountain while getting pestered by Narumi and Lady, going through checkpoints that increase your speed. Getting hit by anything lowers your speed, and once it goes below a certain threshold, you will take damage. It's a pretty solid concept honestly, trying to keep your speed up while dodging all the stuff thrown at you. The hitbox is kinda weird though. I was never really sure of when something was gonna hit me, I just sorta had to eye it and hope for the best. Once you reach the end, Reimu gets fucking obliterated, and then you have a chat with the culprit behind all the snow. And by chat, I mean you throw your snowboard at Cherno, killing her instantly. After beating the game once, you unlock Marisa's hat, which removes your upper speed limit, and it's actually kind of insane. Once again, a lot of potential for this one. I feel like it could really turn into something great given the time to finish it. Cherno's Day Off by Ferdislav, Sweet Pea, and CYC Sen. It's a fishing game. Everyone loves fishing games, right? You wait until something bites and then mash buttons to reel it in. There's 50 unique fish to get, and they all get a little fun entry in Cherno's diary. Which, by the way, I can't tell if the typos were intentional or not, but they really add so much to this. It's really like if Cherno herself wrote them. Even when you get trash it's great, like this sign that says no fishing, which Cherno might or might have not kicked into the lake. You have 3 different tiers of fish, and the higher it goes, the more you gotta mash, with Cherno's friends coming in to help. It's really cute. And that's it. You just sit back and fish. Yeah. Oh, we got a big one. What's it gonna be? Tenshi's Winner Surprise by a lot of people. It's a game with Tenshi, you know I gotta play it, that's the rules. Here you gotta roll a snowball around until it's big enough to wreck Reimu's shrine and ruin her day. Again, As it gets bigger, you can crush fairies blocking your way to access even more snow, but it also makes it harder to control and dodge obstacles. And anything you hit will make the snowball smaller. Walls, trees, yin-yang orbs, fairies throwing those things that slide in ice, I don't remember what they're called, or they might be Roombas, I don't know. And I love Tenshi's little mischievous expression, you know that girl is up to no good. It's not very long, but I had fun with it. Definitely wouldn't have minded there being a few more levels. Ice to Meet You by Hydrochlorinet. These are ice sliding puzzles, the kind you find in Pokemon games and such. And hey, we actually got a story! Cherno, from the hit indie game series Toho project, has prepared some puzzles for her friend Soko, the Sokoban fairy. She got one detail wrong though, as these are not the kind of puzzles fit for a Sokoban fairy, but since she worked very hard on them, might as well give it a shot. And off we go, slip and sliding on ice to reach the exit. Now, whenever I think of these kinds of puzzles, the word that comes to mind is frustration, but these were actually pretty fun. Later on you get locks that need you to step on a key tile first to open them, and arrow tiles that move you wherever the arrow is pointing, but it never really gets that complicated. And each level has a name, which is always a nice bonus. Really, all the text in the game is really fun to read. Don't really know what's up with the HP bar though. As far as I know, nothing can really hurt you here, so... well, I appreciate being able to know if Soko here is looking healthy. Kabushiri Kasen Sliding by Mushkon-AX. With a title like that, how could I not play this one? It's about Kasen sliding down Yokai Mountain on her asphalt. Yeah, if you haven't seen anything about Sun's Gartic phone streams, this is not gonna make much sense to you. Anyways, just by looking at it, you can probably tell that this controls like balls. And you'd be right, but it adds a lot to the experience, you know? Along the way you encounter other residents of Kensokyo who will take the opportunity to mercilessly roast Kasen before giving her a power-up of some kind. A booster to help build speed, the ability to flip yourself around if you end up face down, and better controls are some of the stuff you can get. And there's really no objective as far as I can tell, aside from getting all of them. I'll be honest, I didn't have the patience to finish this one because it's so hard to find your way around this place, but it was compelling enough to make me go as far as I did. And Yokai Mountain is actually, vaguely canon accurate with the landmarks, so good job. Toho Sleigh Race Vacation by, once again, a big team. It's a sled racing game where you drift your way to victory. It even has a nice heartwarming story about Reimu helping out Raisin have fun in the snow. You know, this Raisin. Racing, oh I get it. It plays like one of those old top-down racing games, except way more slippery since, you know, snow and all that. But despite that, it controls fairly well. I'm not very good at it, but thankfully the AI is very generous here, so I didn't really have any trouble. Something that bothered me is that the screen seems way too zoomed in, so you don't really have much time to react to curves and obstacles, and looking at the map isn't too helpful either. The music was nice though, if a bit too simplistic, but it fits the winter aesthetic pretty well. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's a fun little racing game with a character you don't see very often, paired with a really cute story and art of the characters. Cherno Rampage by Planer, Worded Puppet, Vicious, and Mufseru. Cherno has rolled herself into a snowball and is now rolling down a hill, catamaring her way through fairies and other unfortunate residents. However, they will not go down without a fight. You gotta dodge the bullets they shoot while attempting to tackle them and add them to your snowball. It's actually pretty brutal. Took me a few tries before I could finally beat it. The controls feel a bit loose, and since you're such a big target, it's very easy to get hit. No invincibility frames either. You can easily eat like 10 bullets and get melted instantly. But once I got the hang of it, it was pretty fun going through it, if a bit stressful in the end, since as you defeat bosses, more fairies are showing up each wave and they'll also shoot more bullets. One thing that really surprised me is that this game implements dynamic music. Nothing complicated, just adding more instruments to the song, but I wasn't expecting to see it in a game jam. And really, I'm just a sucker for dynamic music in video games. So those are some of my picks from this game jam. It was a pretty good one, if a bit too limited by the theme honestly. There are probably a few more games that I would have liked to comment on, but a lot of these are really too small for me to say anything meaningful about them. And that's fine, I mean, these are games made in a couple days. Of course they're not gonna be massive games full of content. It's all about making small games that are fun to play. So what were your favorites? Do tell me in the comments, I'm interested in seeing the takes you guys have. And again, if you haven't, go check out the rest of the submissions yourself, and keep your eyes peeled for future jams. There's always some really interesting games to see. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and see you next stream.